You want to talk about your Mets or no?
I'll
pass.
Yeah, I'll talk.
You and TJ are in that boat.
You know, Joe, one time after I think game 4 or 5 of the 15 World Series, you and I were in the elevator together.
We were
leaving after I forget how the Mets lost that game. It just
game 5 of the Royals.
Yes,
Mets? Yeah.
And so we were in the elevator coming down from some section together. I was up in the box.
Was that when Harvey went about?
Matt Harvey came back out. And he shouldn't have come out for the 9th. Yes.
Oh, that was brutal. I was happy for Kansas City, great town. But of course, they are. It is a great town.
That's so old school. That's so old school. Yeah. Great town, great people. Yeah. But I didn't want to.
I didn't want to lose to them.
Definitely not.
I didn't want to lose to them. I didn't want to lose to the Royals.
Great town.
You know?
Great town, great food.
Great food.
Barbecue.
Great food.
Yeah, runs from there. Big Slick.
Great part of the country.
The barbecue was excellent.
Yeah.
But yeah, that series.
Didn't want to lose to him though.
Oh, that's brutal. Yeah, well, I'm glad that the Mets this year threw in the towel and did not, go to the way of the Angels and the Padres and kind of stuck it out.
They chose a lane. The Yankees are 5-12 since Brian Cashman said I believe in the guys here. I'm not making any moves. They're 5-12.
Yeah,
that's how they rewarded him.
Yeah. Yeah,
thanks for the help, Brian. We're going to win 5 out of 12, 5 out of 17 games. We're going to go through a 4-game stretch where our entire team output is going to match Julio Rodriguez's, who went, by the way, 17 for 21 over a 4-game stretch.
3 straight 4-hit games.
Oh. All right.
I think it was the right move. It didn't work. It did not work. We saved a little bit of money. I just hope what's important to me is that they get Pete on the team for a long time after next year, and because I hope he remains a lifelong Met. I hope he becomes like what David Wright was to the team, and just stuck around for a long time.
He's a delightful human, and I think the Mets, the only people that don't want to see Pete Alonso in the league is anybody who comes up with their first career hit and the ball winds up in his hands. He'll just throw it right into the stands.
He made up for it. He apologized. He sent a bottle of 1942.
Did he get the ball back?
He got the ball back.
Oh,
but apparently it's
okay.
Whenever a ball is ruled by an umpire to be out of play, he does all the time fire it into the stands. And then he overheard the umpire after this Cardinal came up with his first career hit saying, we're going to need a new baseball. And he heard that and he just fired it into the stands.
And you could see immediately after
he looked
at the dugout. He was like, my bad. Got the ball back.
They got the ball back.
He sent a bottle of 1942. You know that ain't cheap.
Yeah, that ain't cheap.
An autographed bat. And I'm with you, Joe. I love Pete. These guys, Brotman will tell you, Pete Alonso was my favorite baseball player from week 1 of his rookie season. But I'm at the point now where if we get into like year 10 and the Mets aren't doing anything, then I kind of want to see him go somewhere and win.
You're too far away from that.
He deserves to win.
We're way out from that, so.
I'm with you. He deserves a ring. I hope the Mets could bring it. I have a 7-year-old, and last year for his first baseball game, we went down to Petco Stadium, which is a terrific stadium, and the Mets got thumped. This is last year, about 13-1, and I was terrified that my son was no longer going to want to be a Mets fan, and quite frankly, he didn't. He's like, they're terrible, and I said, listen, why don't we go watch them play the Angels a few days later? And so we got tickets. We went to Angel Stadium, and luckily they won. And Pete Alonso knocked one out of the park. And my son saw it, and now he's an Alonso fan. And I saved that relationship, and I feel very proud of that.
Well, I'm glad at least some relationship was saved with your son after you left the Jets for the Rams. But just tell your son you're coming back for him.
I'm coming back. Yeah.
Joe, he's 7. Can you just play old YouTube videos of the '86 season and trick him?
That's right. Show him some of those wonderful highlights.
Yeah. Before there was a Betts, there was another Mookie. Son. Catch the Rich Eisen Show every single day on the Roku channel, 12 to 3 Eastern, for free.